Okay, even after some time, the data CloudTrail did not come through. What I did have to do is enable CloudWatch with CloudTrail. So on the data CloudTrail, I went and edited and added this to the CloudWatch logs, and so it creates some CloudWatch logs for each of the CloudTrail events. And so you go in here, you just basically give it a group name. You create a new group. I had to create a new group, and I just went with the default. And then I created a new IAM role and just called it CloudTrail to CloudWatch logs, and then saved that, and then it started logging to CloudWatch. And so now if I bring up CloudWatch, in here it started, I got my log groups, and here is the CloudTrail log group that I created, and I go into here and dig down deep, and then it's got some information here, and I picked one right here. It's got my account ID on it, so that should be one, hopefully, I'm assuming, with the put event on S3. And so we scroll down here, and it is an S3 object, S3 bucket. It's the TCDV, it's category data. Let's see here. Put object. So this is the put object for USE East. It's in the TCD Dev Cloud bucket. And so this is the information. It's not read-only, it's a write. And this is putting the object chapter 12 doc, so I can even see what the object name is. And so so now it's logging data events, and it had been logging data events. You just couldn't see the data events. You had to enable CloudWatch and get it, and as you can see, it's not really easy to see or get through all these, but it is here. The events and the information is being captured in CloudWatch. So you probably need possibly create an app or tool to parse this information in a better way, or download it, put it in a spreadsheet, and maybe be able to look at it through that way. But you can do some reportings and stuff here in CloudWatch as well. But so you can do Explorer and things. Maybe you can get better at CloudWatch to parse through all these events. But the CloudTrail is capturing it. But I did have to enable CloudWatch logs to actually be able to see the data being logged and captured. So now I've got the trail monitoring all events and data, so management events and data, so both being managed and logged. So now we got Cost Explorer. It's a feature within AWS Billing and Cost Management that offers configurable reports and graphs to help you understand how each of your AWS services impacts your monthly bill. And it offers the following 3 categories of reports: cost and usage reports, reservation reports, and reserve instance recommendations. And you can get to it at the following address: AWS, Amazon.com, AWS-Cost-Management, AWS Cost Explorer. You can get to it that way, or you can go in into your billing dashboard and go to Cost Explorer. So either way you can get there, and then once again you can do cost and usage reports, reservation reports, and reserve instance reports. So cost usage, you can generate cost usage reports to give you a graphical view of your daily and monthly costs and usage over time. Cost Explorer can show you how to forecast for the current month, 3 months out, and 12 months out, helping you plan ahead. Here's an example of a cost and usage monthly report. Right? It shows, this is the last 12 months plus the end of month. And then it gives you an estimate of what it will possibly be with 80% confidence. So the December is forecasted, and it 80% confidence it's going to be within this range here. But it's based on your prior usage reports. I'd show you one, but I don't really have any expenses in this account, so there's no way of really generating a usage and cost report. And here is just another version of a usage report, by month, by service, reported by service. So it breaks down, each service, showing you which is your most costly expense. So in the monthly cost by service displays your top 5 most expensive services over the past 6 months, and the top 5 services are graphed individually, while other services are aggregated and graphed as a single bar. So you can see, you had EC2 instance, registrar, Route 53, config, CloudWatch, and then all the others are the green. The monthly cost by linked account shows your cost for up to the 5 top linked accounts over the past 6 months. The top 5 linked accounts are grouped individually, and the rest are aggregated and graphed as one bar. So if you had different accounts, right? So it could be different accounts. If you have multiple accounts, up to 5, it will the top 5. Usage accounts with the most usage would be listed, and then 6 through whatever else would be aggregated into another bar for by linked account. And then monthly EC2 running hour costs and usage displays 2 monthly graphs showing the cost and running hours of your EC2 instances. The daily cost shows your monthly spend for the last 6 months and a forecast for the current month. And AWS Marketplace, which you'll learn in Chapter 7, the core compute services. The AWS Marketplace allows vendors to make their products and service available to you via AWS. You can license, subscribe, and use the costs are bundled together and billed through AWS. The report shows you how much you spent on the AWS Marketplace solutions. So there is that as well. Just look at it here just a little bit here. So this is the current month. I have no expenses, right? Reports, create. So you got monthly cost by service, by linked accounts, by EC2 running hours. You got daily cost. You got the AWS Marketplace, right? So these are the reports that I was talking about. right? And so we got by service, right? There's no real information in my account, but you can run the various reports, and this by top 5 service, by the top 5 linked accounts. This is your EC2 running hours and costs, right? So I don't have any running hours. And then we got daily costs for the last 6 months, and then marketplace, what you spent in the marketplace. Now, reservation reports offers the following 2 built-in reservation reports to give you insight on how much you are saving or could save with instant reservations. Reservations allow you to save money by prepaying for computing instances, including those used by Amazon EC2. So Elasticsearch and Elasticache and RDS, they all use EC2 instances that you can reserve, and you can pay less money if you do a reservation. And we'll learn more about that in our chapter 7. But so the reserve instance utilization report. So this is if you have reserve instances, how much has been utilized. I don't have any, so there is no utilization, but it would look something like this, right? So your on-demand cost equivalent, effective reservation cost, total net savings, and total potential savings by the end of the month, right? So it shows you how much you've used of your reservation, and how much it saved you over on-demand cost pricing. Reserve instance coverage report tells you how many of your running instance hours are covered by instant reservations, and how much you spend for on-demand instances, and how much you could have saved by purchasing reserve instances. So this is your average coverage. So 73% of the hours that you are running EC2 are covered by a reservation. But you had $23 in on-demand costs, and it doesn't have any annual potential savings figured out, because you're pretty good at that 73% of all your hours are covered. So you're doing pretty good with coverage for the reserve instances. Reserve instance recommendations can provide recommendations to help reduce your cost. Here's how recommendations work. Cost Explorer analyzes your on-demand instance usage over the past 7, 30, or 60 days. It then searches for all available reserve instances that would cover the usage. Finally, it selects the most cost-effective reserve instance and recommends them. Cost Explorer makes recommendations separately for each service, such as EC2 or RDS, and you can also customize the recommendations by selecting a reserve instance term and payment option. So you can select 1 year or 3 years terms, and then you can pay all up front, partial up front, or no up front. So you still have a lot of flexibility even when you do reserve instances. It's just the more you pay up front and the longer you reserve, the deeper the discount you get. Keep in mind that for the purposes of making reserve instance recommendations, Cost Explorer ignores any usage that's already covered by a reservation. So if your instances are already fully covered by instant reservations, Cost Explorer will make no recommendations. And that concludes our chapter 6 here, and so we'll be meeting you in the next video for our chapter 7 or lesson 7, and we will cover EC2, well, core computing services, but starting off with EC2 and that. But we'll see you in the next video covering core compute services.